Hello, Covington County. Welcome to Good News Covington County with Brother John and Cousin Tom and Cousin Jared. Got the small crew here with us today. Glad to be with you today. We've worked up here until the late hours, 0:30, and you're going to see the fruits of our labor sometimes later on. A great interview with some local musical talent, and Jared stayed up here and cracked the whip on himself. Jared, that doesn't sound right, does it? Crack the whip on yourself. He's not into self-flagellation or immolation, but anyway. We've got a lot of news today on this Friday, the 11th day of May 2018. We'll start out with the big news over in Opp, Alabama. Last night was their Chamber of Commerce meeting, and not their meeting, their annual celebration / meeting, where they have the Hall of Fame inductees for the year, and what a great crowd they inducted. One of the keynote speakers was also one of the inductees, and that was Mike Dubose. For those of y'all that can't remember that far back or were born since then, Mike Dubose was a pretty fair football player for the University of Alabama back in the early 70s. Went on to coach at a lot of places, including later on as the head coach at the University of Alabama. He was also their keynote speaker, and they framed some of the address, and I'd like to read some of it because I love coaching stories, but especially coaches that have good stories about having played for memorable people like Mike did for Bear Bryant at Alabama. I'm going to read this directly. The quote from the Andalusia Star News. Lacey Stinson wrote the article. He is young people don't think they're not good enough until someone says they're not good enough. Mike Dubose, the 2018 one of Opp's own very own award winner. Dubose, the former head coach at the University of Alabama, said he'd seen limitations set on young people from his time as a high school teacher and a coach. Where a flea trainer takes a flea, he puts it in a bottle. The flea's natural instinct is to get ahead, just like our natural instinct is to. When the flea jumps, it hits its head on the seal of the bottle. After 2 or 3 days of jumping and hitting its head, the flea won't try to jump as high. It will learn to jump only as high as it has to, so it doesn't hurt itself. Once the flea is released from the bottle, it will never try to jump as high as it used to. The flea trainer put a man-made limitation on the flea, and one of my greatest pet peeves, said Dubose, is that teachers that set limitations on their students. I happen to agree with him on this. Dubose also talked about his time playing for legendary coach Bear Bryant, and I quote him again. Bear Bryant used to always say, if you believe in yourself and have dedication and never quit, you'll be a winner. The price of victory is high, but so are the rewards. Alan Miller, also a Hall of Fame inductee, said, and he was an educator, and said that teachers have had a huge impact on others' lives. Every student you teach has potential. You may not think a student has any potential, but they do. The worst guy you could have could potentially be a great bank robber. I'll never forget my son Daniel coming in and telling me, Dad, I think I failed a math test when he was in the 3rd grade. And I said, Daniel, you can't be like that. You got to be positive about your stuff. He says, you got to be positive about your attitude. And he says, okay, Dad, I'm positive I failed a math test. That's the way it works sometimes. Miller's first job was teaching government, history, and economics at Opp High School, and later on he even retired as a superintendent of the system. If someone would have told me when I was younger that I would have gone on and graduated from the University of Alabama, you know what, I would have never believed it. You know what education was for my family in the 1940s? It was how to grow corn, cotton, peanuts, and fatten hogs, and that was it. Miller credits his strive for greatness to God and 2 teachers from his high school. When I think about the success I've enjoyed in my life, I give God credit for every day. The first people who ever said to me, "You need to go to college," was my English teacher and my high school principal. Miller says that he remembers students that teachers didn't think were going on to be successful that did. Every student you teach has the potential, and it may not be what you think it is. During the banquet, the chamber also recognized Diane Calhoun as Opp Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Bobby Fleming as Opp Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Diane Calhoun as Opp Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Bobby Fleming as Opp Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Heather Bryan as Opp High School's Teacher of the Year, and James D. Clare as Trailmaster of the Year. Joe Richburg, our good friend at JR's, received the Spirit of Opportunity Award, and American Apparel in Opp was awarded Opp's Business of the Year. All of that's outstanding. We're proud for those people. I don't know all of those people, but the ones I do know absolutely worked hard and earned that recognition. They don't make them much better than some of those folks. The siren you heard in the background was not coming for us. It's going the other way. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back shortly. The news in this next segment will be brought to you courtesy of the folks at Happy Kitchen, located at on the Western Martin Luther King bypass at 700 Westgate Plaza. If you want really, and I mean really, really good food at a good price, then you need to try the menu at Happy Kitchen. You go for their lunch specials, you'll get good food, and you'll get plenty of it, and you'll be pleased with the price. I think you'll find their menu to be the most varied menu in the area. If you can't stay and dine, then call in and carry out. The telephone number is 222-1398. I've never had a meal there that wasn't top notch. They're open 6 days a week. In other news from Opp, there was a case of, this is tragic news I hate to report, rape and incest charges were added to an Opp case. After further investigation, the Opp Police Department has added charges of rape in the first degree, incest, and sexual abuse in the first degree to an Opp man's sexual abuse case. Benjamin Ellis White, age 31, was arrested earlier this week after the Opp Police Department investigators received reports of White committing sexual abuse to a child under the age of 12. White was initially charged with sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12, a Class B felony. As a result of further investigations, White has been charged with 2 counts of rape in the first degree, incest, and sexual abuse in the first degree. His bond has been set at $500,000. A rape charge is a Class A felony, and both sexual abuse and incest are Class C felonies. Class A felonies are the most serious of felonies and are eligible for jail sentences of at least 10 years to 99 years or life. Fines can go up to $600,000. Class C felonies are punishable by a prison sentence of 1 year, and on the day up to 2 years, fines can go up to $15,000. They're going to paint downtown all kind of pretty colors here in Andalusia. The Daughters of the American Revolution, the old Three Knights chapter, are seeking a few sponsors to help them paint Andalusia into the most patriotic town in the South. Now, this is part of what's going to happen in 2019 when Alabama celebrates its bicentennial. That's a big deal, folks. 200 years as a state. 2019. The Daughters of the American Revolution have done things like this before. In fact, I think they did it here in Andalusia several years ago. Brenda Goo, who serves as the organization's regent, said she stumbled upon the idea by accident. I saw a picture of some DAR ladies in Alabama. They were standing outside the Kate Duncan School, and there was a fire hydrant in front of them, and I thought, too bad that fire hydrant's not red, white, and blue. And the idea stuck with her, and she began to look online to see if anyone else had painted fire hydrants. There's a town in Ohio that's done it. and one in Illinois. That's all I can find, but there may be other towns out there. My mom says all the country did it in 1976, and that's what I believe I remember as well. Ms. Goo approached Andalusia Mayor Earl Johnson with the idea, and he agreed to give it a try. The city council is expected to approve the patriotic designs next week, and members of the DAR will find sponsors to make the project happen. Sponsors will only have to cover the $75 cost for painting. We want to be one of those sponsors here at WKNI. Goose said she believes it's a great idea that will catch on. With all that's going on in the world, it's a quiet way to be patriotic. Fellow DAR member Sue Bass Wilson is helping find sponsors for the project. The two spoke to the Lions Club last week, and they agreed to become a sponsor. I really think we can take this nationwide, Goose said. It's a good community look, and it's unifying. Wilson said that the effort will start with finding sponsors for the main streets, and the DAR would like to have those appointed in time for the annual 4th of July parade. Checks can be written to the Daughters of the American Revolution, who in turn will pay the city to paint the hydrants. The donations may be done in honor or memory of someone that will be noted in the published list of sponsors. The Freedom Hydrant forms are available at the Andalusia Star News or by calling GOO at 334-222-0347. The deadline is Friday, June 8th. A great thing that they're trying to do here for Covington County. As I said, we want to try to at least get the hydrant out in front of our place painted in the next, sign up and get it done the next few days. When we first heard about this, my first question was, what do you think the dogs are going to think about their hydrants being painted? And apparently I wasn't the only person that had that. It wasn't an original thought. I was assured by the powers that be that this is a special paint that is resistant to the stains that dogs might leave upon it. So you can know that it's a good investment, product made out of good American-made paint, probably. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute with more. Welcome back to Good News Covington County. Our next segment is sponsored by the people at Andalusia Tire Company. For complete tire and chassis service with branded products like Michelin, Moog, and Bandag, you need to try Andalusia Tire Company on the Western Bypass here in Andalusia. You can trust your vehicle, large or small, to Jimbo Caton, Todd Caton, and or Greg Caton and the crew at Andalusia Tire Company for great workmanship and reasonable pricing on everything that they do. And you can trust those people. In other news in Andalusia, and as I said, we've got a busy day. There was an article in the Andalusia Star News written by Christopher Smith about what the Organized Community Action Program is doing here in Andalusia. This is a public program that helps a lot of people do a lot of things, including sometimes pay for their power bills, which is a bigger and bigger thing every year. In this particular case, the OCAP program donated $500 to the foster parent program at the Department of Human Resources yesterday. The foster parent program is geared toward the needs of foster children. They supply foster children with birthday gifts, extracurricular needs, and several other needs. That's according to Lisa Seiler, who's the local director. According to her also, we just want to make them feel normal in the midst of all the chaos going on in their lives. Lisa, I'm waiting for somebody to help me feel normal with all the chaos going on in my life as well. I know it's got to be tough for those kids. Seiler says that the program is helping a lot of kids that are playing baseball this season because that's not free, and sometimes that program can pay the scholarship to enter that. This is a very busy time right now because they're in the middle of baseball season. So a donation to OCAP really helps a lot. The Foster Parents Program also provides school supplies for foster children. It's the time of the year when we're looking forward to next year's school year, Seiler said. We want to prepare them for school because most of the kids don't have anything at all. so we provide them with all the necessary supplies. We seriously appreciate these donations. Every little donation goes a long way, and we appreciate the support of the community. Elizabeth C. from OCAP said that helping children is just one of the things that OCAP does. I'll quote her again. When we see the need for help coming from the foster care system, we just want to help where we can. OCAP is a federally funded program designed to help low-income families with their energy bills originally. DHR is holding its annual Foster Parents Night Out on Saturday, May 12th. That's just right around the corner, like tomorrow. Since it's Foster Care Awareness Month, we want foster parents to be able to have a little time to themselves. Siler said we want to take care of the kids while they're able to go out, the parents are able to go out to eat or relax for a while. Our next story starts a story about teacher appreciation. This is National Teacher Appreciation Month, and the Andalusia Star-News has had quite a bit of good news about teacher appreciation. And this teacher appreciation moment is brought to you by some other people that you'll appreciate if you ever do business with them. If you want or need parts for your car, truck, or heavy-duty vehicle, you'll appreciate the people at Bauer Auto Parts. They're your source for fine NAPA auto parts in Opp, Alabama. Check with Jamie and Jackie or anyone else in the crew at the store located at 304 East Cumming Avenue in Opp. Or give them a call at 334-493-4017. They can even deliver it to you. Bauer Auto Parts, Opp, Alabama. Good people. Teacher appreciation. After 33 years, she still learns from her kids. This is another story from the Andalusia Star-News by Christopher Smith, and it's about Strawn Elementary School teacher Julie Wyndham. She says that working with kids is an adventure. She absolutely loves working with the kids. Not only do they learn from me, but I learn from them. Wyndham has been teaching for 33 years, and most of those years have been at Strawn Elementary School. She said the best part of her job is seeing the light come on when kids understand how to read. We can honestly see the light come on in their little heads when they start reading. Wyndham said it is such an important skill, so when they understand how to do something, it makes me feel like I've done my job. One thing that makes teaching challenging is how the family structure has changed over the year. I thought it was ironic that this article was in the same section with the article on fostering children. Families are so stretched out now, Wyndham said, you never know what a kid's going through. Some kids are staying the night at 2 houses every other day, and then it's hard to deal with that. Wyndham said that working with the youth of America is the most exciting thing that a person can ever do. It's just a great job, Wyndham said. You get the insight into every child's life when they come, where they come from and where they're going. Strawn Elementary School Assistant Principal Barry Wooden has been working with Wyndham for 14 years and says she's incredibly caring, hardworking, and kind. She's a cornerstone of great faculty. Wood said that Wyndham has a wealth of experience. She's been able to mentor a number of people, and that every child that goes through her classes feels like they are special. She's been married for 33 years to Greg Wyndham, the special education teacher at Strawn, and she has 2 sons, 1 grandson, and another grandbaby on the way in December. By the way, she has the 2 sons are both coaching, one at Strawn and one in Andalusia, and it just happens that football is one of her great pastimes. Now we're going to stop for a minute and take some commercial breaks. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County. I'm here with Jared and Tom and my usual backup gang. I don't know if we qualify as the 3 Stooges or not, but we're all capable of being Stooges, that's for sure. Got a great article, another article in the Andalusia Star-News, and this is one I always take pride in reading these articles. It's about a young man named Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is really been dedicated, especially the last 3 years, to get an appointment at West Point, and it finally came through. Now, West Point is one of the finest academic institutions in the world. The only, they do an extremely good job of turning out men of high character and women of high character. And they are one of the 3 smallest athletic programs in the United States that plays a Division I football, basketball, and baseball. The only other sports programs that are smaller than theirs are the programs at Navy and Troy University. I thought that was real interesting. They share that kind of a distinction. After 3 years of dedication and hard work, Chandler Jones has been appointed to the United States Military Academy at West Point. Jones started applying to West Point when he was a senior in high school. He received appointments from Senator Richard Shelby, a Republican of Alabama, and from Representative Martha Roby, also Republican. Jones has been at Marion Military Institution, where he earned his associate's degree in science. Being at Marion has really helped a lot, Jones said. In high school, I didn't really study a lot, but Marion helped me learn better study habits and prepared me for life in the military. Jones plans to major in engineering at the institution with a minor in foreign languages. After West Point, he's required to serve 5 years in active duty and 3 years in the reserves. If he does not plan to continue active duty, then he will stay with the reserves. Jones' grandfather, Rex Jones, and his father, Troy Jones, are the 2 men that gave him the inspiration, he says. Jones begins his journey at West Point on July 1st. Congratulations. I mean, that's a great, great honor. Got us an announcement here we need to talk about for a minute. The city of Andalusia, we're going to mention this over and over again, will be closed on May 28th for Memorial Day. Garbage and recycling pickup will be on Tuesday, May 29th. And they'll pick up both Mondays and Tuesdays routes on Tuesday, May 29th. Please have your garbage and recycling out early on May 29th. If you have problems or questions, contact the street department at 222-3316. Now, our sports and weather and its extensive and the budget report today is brought to you by Fletcher's Outdoors, located at the intersection of U.S. Highway 29 and Brooklyn Road in Andalusia. Start your day with a big breakfast in their restaurant, then go next door to the hunting and fishing store. They've got everything from camouflage to clay pigeons. For all your hunting and fishing needs, check out the merchandise and the people at Fletcher's. And on to sports news. Pleasant Home is still in the tournament, and Red Levels and Florella seasons in. Now these are the women's or ladies or girls softball teams from Pleasant Home, Red Level, and Florella. The Pleasant Home Eagles split on Thursday to remain alive in the Class 1A South Regional Softball Tournament in Gulf Shores. But both Red Level's Lady Tigers and Florella's Lady Wildcats saw their seasons come to an end. Pleasant Home defeated Milry 6-1 in the opening round of the tournament, but fell to Brantley 18-0 in the second round Thursday night. The Lady Eagles will play Highland Home at 9 this morning, Friday morning, to see if they go on or not. In their first game, it was Sweetwater 12, Red Level 2. The Red Level Tigers fought hard but fell 12-2 to Sweetwater in the opening round of the Class 1A Southern Regional Softball Tournament in Gulf Shores. In the second game, it was Highland Home 16, Red Level 9. In their elimination game, the Lady Tigers fell 16-9 to Highland Home. They must have really had the big bats out, that's all I can say. Florella fell to Brantley 18-3 in the opening game and then fell to Milry 23-4 in the second game. And other baseball news, The Bulldogs are state-bound in men's baseball. The Andalusia Bulldogs are headed to the Class 4A championship after sweeping the Bibb County Choctaws on Thursday night in Centerville. It was Andalusia 5, Bibb County 2. In the opening frame of the game, in the opening game, the Bulldogs rallied late to pick up a 5-2 victory. They were down 2-0. And then in the top of the sixth inning, Gil Morgan singled to start. Then Ethan Wilson followed with a single, and then Garrett Davis loaded the bases when he reached on an infield single. Hogan Nichols, who's been knocking the ball around like he owned it, followed with a sacrifice fly to give the Bulldogs their first run of the game. Sebastian Stallworth then came up with a single that scored Wilson in to tie the game. Cravey kept the Choctaws off the board in the bottom of the sixth to send the game to be tied in the final inning. In the top of the seventh inning, Cravey got things started with a one-out single and then moved on to third on a double from Gil Morgan. Instead of pitching to Wilson, the go-ahead run, who's one of our two best players, on the go-ahead run on third, the Choctaws elected for an intentional walk. With the bases loaded, Davis drew a walk to put Andalusia up 3-2. The rest of the team followed, and they won by a total of 5-2 over the Choctaws from Centerville in the first game. And we'll be back in a minute to tell you more about the second game of the series. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with Brother John and the crew. Glad to have you here on this Friday, the 11th day of May. Having fun, great sports news for Andalusia. We were just giving you the update on how Andalusia beat the Bibb County Choctaws in the first game of their double elimination on the way to the state finals in baseball. The Bulldogs beat the Choctaws 5-2. Now we're going to the second game. In the second game, it was Andalusia 9, Bibb County 8. Now that's a high-scoring game. In the final game of the series, the Bulldogs held off the Choctaws for a 9-8 win to advance to the state title game. The Bulldogs will advance to the state championship on Tuesday at Patterson Field in Montgomery. Andalusia will take on the winner between Aniana and Hoax Bluff. The two teams split, Aniana and Hoax Bluff did, split Thursday night, and we'll meet again at 5 p.m. this afternoon to fight it out. And then another interesting story about something that might come to Andalusia and come shortly is the city's debating bringing a new sport to the city of Andalusia. This is an article by Josh Dutton, and I'm familiar with this sport. It's called pickleball. And pickleball is something that's gained a lot of interest in the United States in the last 20 or so years. It's a paddle sport created for pretty much anybody of any age and any skill level, as long as you can find somebody that's about your skill level. The rules are simple and the game's easy for beginners to learn, but it can develop into a fast-moving game. It's played on a short court, a small court, and it gets to be, the people that are really accomplished in it get to be very, very competitive if they want to be. Pickleball sometimes it combines the elements of tennis, badminton, and ping pong. It may be played indoors or outdoors. I learned to play it outdoors a long time ago, and on a badminton-sized court with a modified tennis net. It's been something that they've wanted to try for a while, said City of Andalusia's Mike Arell said. Until now, we just haven't had the time to really talk more about the possibility. Arell said that through talks with the First United Methodist Church education minister, Alicia Glaze, the idea of the clinic came about. She was telling us that they've been playing the sport for some time and compete with others in cities close by. Harrell said she agreed to host this clinic so that we could explain what the game is and how it is played. Harrell said that based on how the clinic goes, the city will decide whether or not to bring the sport here. Right now, we're just trying to gauge the interest in before we start charging money for people to join the league. Burrell said the idea is to bring in more activities for adults in Covington County to participate in. Sign-ups, and we'll bring this back to your attention a little bit later on. Sign-ups for the clinic will be on Tuesday, May 15th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Johnson Park Gym. There will be no cost for the clinic and equipment will be provided. Participants are urged to wear tennis shoes and comfortable clothing. The clinic will be held on May 16th at Johnson Park Gym from 9 to 11 a.m. For more information, contact Johnson Park at 222-2714. Now for the news you've all been waiting for. Coming to you from the WKNI observation post located at number 12 Court Square in Andalusia, Alabama. Our crack reporting staff gives you the buzzard report. And today's buzzard report shows that there were 7 buzzards at the Court Square, number 1 Court Square here in Andalusia today. 7 buzzards. Now for the local fishing calendar. This calendar comes to us courtesy of Bassmasters Inc. And we'll read it out to you. And maybe someday we'll get sophisticated enough we can put the chart on the TV. The moon is on the wane and our best fishing will be average in most places. The best times for daylight fishing today are 9:51 to 10 to 11:51. And when I give you these times, these are the times for daylight fishing. 9:51 to 11:51 for the major feeding, and from 4:57 to 6:57 for the minor feeding cycle this afternoon. As I said, the moon is on the wane. The fishing should start getting better tomorrow and then as we go into next week. The regular weather forecast for Covington County is as follows. Today it's going to be sunny with a high near 94. There'll be calm wind blowing northwest around 5 miles per hour. That'll come into this area this afternoon, and then tonight it'll be mostly clear with a low around 62. Again, southwest winds about 5 miles an hour. Saturday, be sunny with a high near 92. Calm wind becoming again southeast around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Saturday night, partly cloudy with low around 64. And a south wind around 5 miles an hour, becoming calm in the evening. And then on Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 93. Calm winds becoming northeast around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Sunday night, we'll see partly cloudy skies with a low around 67. An easterly wind around 5 miles an hour, becoming calm. And folks, that wraps up our news and our weather for today. But I'd like to again ask you to please take time to go to our Facebook page and like us. And if you can, go to the YouTube and look at some of the videos. We're updating this information on YouTube daily. There's new stuff out there under WKNI that you would enjoy seeing. And the quality of it's getting better and better as we determine what ways and things we can do to make our broadcast better. We have a lot to learn and we're still learning. I want to thank you for watching us this week. Hope you have a great weekend. And remember 2 things. Be kind to one another and shop local. Thanks.